This is a bit of black opal we found out in claims that have all been blocked in completely by flooding. They've all caved from the top in, and there should be old ballrooms with nice colour down here. So we thought we'll try and find our way in from one of the nearby claims. The only one we could find was a very dangerous 6-foot tunnel machine hole. It's been built out to about 12-foot diameter at the top. See if we can get down this one and find our way back to those caved in, flooded in ballrooms.
Cray.
Absolutely.
A few times in the past, I've been down old claims where the water's flowed in like it has in this area, and the water flows in down to like 60 feet or so, and it floods all the pillars in an opal-rich area, what was an opal-rich area, and often causes collapses, and then you can find the top levels can sometimes have stuff up the top. So we're trying to get through and see if we can get through to them old flooded in areas.
Oh no, doesn't go anywhere.
Because the material that blacklit hasn't been picked on at all, I thought it hadn't been looked at much, so I thought I'd check this little claim anyway.
Potch! Big potch shells everywhere. Nice colour.
A few times over the years I've found beautiful opal where the tunnel machine has buried the level in the floor like this. So we shovel it out and check it out, because some people have found millions like this.
So, I don't know what's going on here, but I've been digging out this hole, chasing this really annoying typical Olympic trace where there's just like too much trace and junk, and then it's gone a bit of a pocket here, and there was colour there, so we'll see if I can get a good look at what it is. If I wind this right in. Beautiful red grey.
Quite a few brilliant pieces of crystal, beautiful bit of material like this. Never came up to quite a good cutting material, but very promising trace. There was a slip running across this drive that it's a small counter fault that comes over diagonally over the level. It looks like it's heading up to a slide, and it was making material going off in both directions. So it's very interesting trace. One day it might come back. Beautiful looking seam in the wall. It could make something up, but it needs quite a bit of time and investment. Unfortunately, this area is notorious for over-promising and under-delivering. Chase the trace out probably for a few $100, but might be a good spot to get stuck into when we get our bombs going. Well, Shannon's been sitting around bored and cold for a few hours, so we thought we'd better go warm up down another claim nearby. Try again?
Yeah, go for it. See the other bomb.
Danger! Back that way. Okay. Redbacks. The guardians of the opalses. Better go that way. Back to it. Alright. Oh my goodness. Here we go.
That's the area we crawled through on our guts for about 30 metres, but I forgot to film it.
because this big girl's up here, I'm going to head that way, because they always know where the opal is, the redbacks. Down that side, I reckon. See how we go.
Out on these fields, it's usually the case that these tulling machines have worked along in front of a major slide. No different here. This has been worked for a few hundred metres in front of this quite a large slide. You can see it here in the wall. Very healthy and beautifully weathered ground, typical Olympic with chocolatey levels. I suppose this would be around the 50-foot mark, the main level out there. And this is out the far end where they've chased it out to see if it keeps making, and of course it hasn't. They've cut out, and here's about 40 foot in front. You can see the material beginning. This is where the material breaks, where the level kind of flattens out in front of the fault, and the counter slips come back over it. Over here, comes back around to about between 30 and 60 foot in front of the slide roughly. And this area has all been bashed out where there was bits of verticals and material. Very hard to know how much they found, but you just have a scratch and see if you can come up with any traces.
See that? That's the tail of a bearded dragon. I'm just gonna, I've roughed him off inside here, and we'll try and take him up and set him free. That's a bloody long way to fall, buddy. Whew. Oh, the spring popped off. Ah. Oh. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, right. There you go.
Getting a couple of holes drilled by Roger. We don't want to call him the Dodger because we don't want him to dodge any opal, and he's bloody not dodgy. In fact, this legend is so not dodgy that he does his own offsiding and smashes these holes down like nobody else.
Bloody hell, he's got it down pat. He's a machine.
Unbelievable.
You drilled that one? No, he's on this is first one.
Clearing a spot for the wheels and jacks so you can drill a hole on top of where we found about $30,000 to see if there's anything at the top level. Sure enough, it was not a scrap.
Checking a shaft. Closer to the slide. Don't know if it's going to be any good, but this is in the wall, in the virgin ground. So, better keep chasing it, I suppose. Still a bit of way to fill up. And there it is. Going back to absolutely nothing. But we've seen that 1,000 times in this claim, and it just keeps promising and never really delivers very much. So I think we'll sack it.
As for dangerous days in Coober Pedy, I guess we're always surrounded by danger, but as we say, it's no worse than driving down a freeway being 3 foot from mincemeat at any given time. On our last day, we go out to Olympic and see if we can scratch up a couple blobs on the bottom level where we've found bits and pieces in over the years. It's a very frustrating bit of level. Just scraps and barely makes any decent pockets. This is a very good example of why we keep chasing it. Well, that little bout of claustrophobia earned us these couple of stones, but not much else, so we're going to get out of here and come back and try again next time. The smashed window at the start was a stock photo, so we didn't smash a windscreen, but that's why we slow down for those flying dinosaurs.